Hey guys, welcome to Game 3 of the ESV-TV Korean Weekly Season 3, week number 4 between Liquid Taeja and Slayers.Coca. It is the finals with Coca up 2-1 right now. We'll see exactly what Taeja ends up doing. Last game he did win on Ohana with a very greedy build, but he did get punished for it, losing 32 workers with the first attack from Coca relatively early in the game. How was he greedy? Well, he went for a command center first to start it off with, then he built a barracks into another command center, going on 3 CCs extremely quick, but he did scout that Coca went for a gasless expand. That is the only time that Coca went for a gasless expand, and when a Zerg does that, they can't really put on that much aggression. We do see the one Overlord probably going on that pinged rally. Yep, going to be going over there, going to be putting himself right here to sacrifice himself to see the tech of Taeja. Additionally, there is going to be the other Overlord most likely going over into the north position to see the timing of the natural going to be hanging off over here. Can also see the timing of the third base, which is really cool about Korhal compounds. That one Overlord does serve two purposes. However, he is going to be going up to this path, the safest one possible, because if he goes straight for this one, there is a chance a Marine will find him and pick him on off. So, going to be taking a little bit of a longer route, but a safe route to get to that position. We'll see exactly how Taeja does open up and what Coca is going to do. If he's going to go for a gasless expand or going to be going for a speedling opener. He is, of course, going to be expand, so I shouldn't say gas expand. I should say if he's going to open up with speedlings or just delay the gas until around 45 supply. That's a much better way to say it because he doesn't have gas when he takes this expansion. You never see a Zerg get gas before he expands. It's just kind of one of the weird things about Zerg, how you talk about them. And yes, he is going to be getting this gas and going to be opening up with speedlings. On Ohana, you have a ramp so Hellions can infinitely contain you. On Korhal compounds, it's a little bit wider open, so your Lings always have a chance to run around the Hellions. They don't have to cluster up on a ramp where Hellions can take them out, so the Speedlings do put on threat. The Hellions can't easily contain them, and because they put on threat, that means that Taeja can't really be greedy because Coca can attack him any minute. It's not like he went for that gasless expand and Taeja suddenly has a timing when Coca can move across the map because his units then become fast. Nope. So that is the one good thing about going with the Speedling opener. When Taeja does scout this, he sees that it's always going to be in the back of his mind saying, oh, you can attack me at any minute now. However, Taeja is getting gas and going up to a factory, building that second Marine, and now we will have a reactor so that times with the barracks. Going to be moving out with these two Marines. I don't know what the goal is with these two, but he is moving out with them. May try to get a bunker with this SCV, but Coca does have one drone waiting right there. I'm not sure if he was on the watchtower. No, he didn't really take the watchtower. He just pulled a drone and watched his hatch, it looks like. Or maybe the SCV walked up. I'm sorry, I missed that. We do have the drone going off into an extractor to save his life. Sacrifices 6 minerals, but he does get to live. We do have Taeja now backing on off. He does know the gas is done and knows the speed has started, so the amount of damage he can do is very minimal at this point. He did force Coca right now to build 4 Lings, and Coca wanted to build 2 drones there, so that does do a little bit of damage. Actually, was it 6? No. Only 4 Lings, and those Lings are going to go and scout because right now Coca is playing completely blind, and he's really safe with his Overlord scouting powers. He goes all the way over here, then up. Doesn't go just straight diagonal behind the space. No, he always goes along the edges of the map with his Overlords. That's one thing about Coca, just plays it so safe with those scouting Overlords. We do have Taeja looking like he's going to be going for a Marauder Hellion push, maybe a Stim Marine Hellion push. It's going to be something a little bit all-in-ish, because he is getting a tech lab on this barrack so soon while he is getting these Hellions. The Ling, though, is going to get up. Did that Ling see it? And then even if it didn't, Taeja will never know if it did. It got so close, saw the barracks, doesn't see the tech lab. We do have Taeja going for a Stim. Will he get a Marauder? Will he get a Marine? And this is going to be the moment of truth if he decides to go for like a Polt build. And it looks like he's not going to get either right now. Just waiting for a little bit. He is supply capped right now, 35 out of 35 supply. Last SCV, that command center, though, just about done, so it will end up freeing up the supply. So Taeja not supply capped one bit. This barracks sitting idle for a little bit. Maybe he's going to be going for a third base right now. Taeja's minerals getting a little bit high, and yes, he does end up throwing a third base down. Gonna get this Hellion contained with 4 Hellions, and looks like, seeing that Speedling opener, doesn't scare Taeja one bit. He's like, okay, well, I'm still gonna go up on the third base extremely quick, well before you do. We do have the Spine Crawler with the two Queens number 3 and 4. Oh no, are those Queens 3 and 4? He has 3 Queens out, so that's Queens 2 and 3. Didn't build 4 queens. I'm not sure exactly why he didn't build 4 queens this time. Maybe because he was forced to build 4 lings out to deal with those Marines, and that did cut into the queen production. Maybe that's why. We do have Taeja moving out with more Hellions, so that will bring the count up to 6. And this Overlord is getting into position. Now going to be sacrificing himself at the 7:15 minute mark yet again to see what Taeja is doing. And now he's going to see a lot of reactors or a lot of barracks going up. This one barracks going up, this one going on a reactor, and the factory getting a tech lab. So he's going to be saying, oh, you are transitioning into a tank build. And he doesn't, again, see the 3rd base yet. So that 3rd base is going to take him by a little bit of a surprise. The Overlord did not get a chance to see, but maybe seeing the timing of all this stuff is enough to clue him in that the 3rd base is being down. No clue how perceptive Coca is. We do have a Baneley's Nest being built and 2 gases now just finishing. He is on 4 gases already as this lair does finish. But because he got those 4 gases when the lair was about halfway, I'm going to be calling Infestors this time and not Mutalisks. However, it is Coca, and he does love those Mutas and doesn't really mass them. So it still could be Mutalisks. We'll see exactly what he ends up going. Going to be getting even more Banelings out. Just, I guess, for defensive purposes. I don't know why he's moving so many Banelings when there is no threat. He does have the Ling at that 1 watchtower. So he doesn't really need these Banelings, just gets them to be safe, but he knows that Taeja can't move out, so that was a little bit of a wasted resource right there. This 1 Hellion on patrol, preventing these creep tubes from going down and spreading that creep. Very nicely done by Taeja. These 6 Hellions are being such a pain for Coco right now. And that command center just building SCVs. Overlord sitting right here waiting for the command center timing so he can see the 3rd base. Also, this Overlord can kind of tell him when he moves out. It's not directly on the edge. If it was, then he'd definitely know when the Marines move out here. Then he sees them again with the watchtower. But, yeah, that Overlord in a nice spot. We do have Medivacs now coming out for Taeja. Doesn't have a reactor on it. There we go. Reactor going to be built. And now those Lings did manage to run by the Hellions. That was odd. Whoa, how these Lings get past. Some of them are damaged, but not that many. So now we do have Coca with the ability to put on pressure. And now these Hellions are going to get surrounded. And I have no idea how those Lings went. Maybe those Hellions poked it back for just a minute, allowing Coca to get those Lings out on the map. And killing off those Hellions is a huge deal because now this means he can take his 3rd base. And the Banelings are going across the map. He is going to be going in for a lot of damage right now. Taeja's siege mode is not done. He has a double wall up. That is good. One of the only games he does keep that double wall up. So after this one wall goes down, he can retreat back up into this one. He did see a siege tank, but again, 24 Banelings morphing in. That is a lot of gas in Banelings, and they do have speed, and they will be going in, doing so much damage. Taeja's in a lot of trouble going into the Marines. 34 Marines to the 26 Banelings after the wall gets broken. Marines now going to be spreading out behind this. Taeja in a lot of trouble. Those Marines with some beautiful micro, but there's so many Lings. SCVs now pulled off the line, and the Banelings are going to get a huge hit off on a lot of SCVs. Going down to 35 SCVs right now. 28 have been killed. This is looking much like the last game, but Taeja did come back. He does have 3 bases up. Coca now just getting his 3rd base. He does have Medivacs out. Does have a drop going off to try to deny this 3rd base, but Lings are coming. And that's not going to be enough. The Marines do get picked up. The Lings are at 1-1. Taeja's Marines are at 1-0 right now with that armor upgrade just about done. Mutalisks are going to be coming out for Coca right now. And the Overlord's still in here. Just can see when the army decides to move out. Look at all the supply depots that did go down as well. Let's go into this loss tab. You can see Taeja losing a little bit more. Sees this Overlord, going to be picking that off. And that will be enough to supply cap Coca, turning that supply upside down. Oh no, the Overlord's not dead yet. 13, 14 HP. But he doesn't squeeze it. Wait, is he going to get it? Is he going to get it? The Overlord's going away. No, he doesn't. The supply turns upside down. And during all that time, oddly enough, he didn't build another Overlord. Does have love. It does just pop those injects. And there we go. 2 Overlords now just starting. That is a big supply cap by Coca. And again, he is going with Mutas. And Mutas generally are not the best call when you kill off 30 workers that early in the game. just go Infestors, because you generally won't kill your opponent ever with mutas, especially someone with Taeja and has that micro. He's always going to just barely survive, eventually get into the late game, and when you go for these mutas and then go all into ultras after mutas, your late game is denied so much. I know ultras are a tier 3 unit, but they are not late game. Broodlord Infestor is like the only late game composition for Zerg that is reliable. You have the Mass Queen Ultralisk, which is used occasionally, but it's not really that reliable of a build, not something you depend on. The Broodlord Infestor is like the staple behind Zerg late game. And when you kill off the econ this much of your Terran opponent, you're free to get a few Infestors out, just defend, mass expand, and get into that late game very quickly. As Artozu would say, when you're ahead, you get more ahead. You don't just go for the throat and kill him. We'll see if Taeja can hold on and bring this to yet another game or another victory for him. That supply depot going down. He is going to be moving out with a handful of Marines. Wants to put an end to these mutas. He is going out hurting right now, but there's going to be way too many sheep to hurt. He's going to have to retreat back. It is a stampede right now. That supply depot is going up. He does have 2 tanks off in the back, and now everything is going to be pulling on back, but he does have enough to just get a base up. And look at all these banelings. He has 32 banelings out. That is a lot of money that he didn't need to spend. He could have spent that on bases, and then when Taeja attacked, then he could get these banelings. Going for this many banelings to attack, you're not efficient when you go attack, because you gotta go through tank volleys, go through buildings. It's just not efficient. So he could have just double expanded instead of building all these banelings. When he sees stuff coming out, then he gets some banelings. Drop is happening, but it looks like Coca, some 6th sense, already picks that off. 8 Marines in the medevac going down. That is not what you want to happen when you are behind in the game. And picking off that 1 Marine really fast. And morphing in more banelings. 8 more banelings by Coca morphing in. He wants to just go mass banelings and end this game. Taeja, though, this is how he came back in the last game. Will Coca be able to end it with Ling Bling Muta? It is so rare for a ZVT to end with Ling Bling Muta in the Zerg's favor nowadays. There's banelings splitting up, as you do see. He is going to be coming on in. Tanks are siege. There's banelings coming in. Banelings explode on everything, even those tanks. And there's not that many left over to kill off the Marines. The Marines are going to be able to fend off the mutas. And going into this loss tab, now we have Coca losing a little bit more. And that 1 Ling is going to be going down. And banelings, such a good unit to throw games with. Savior would have been amazing. You never would have found out about that scandal back in Brutal if you had banelings, because you can just so easily throw games with units like this and ultras. And yes, that is a bitter damn joke. I just stole it. Get over with it. He only said it was with ultras. I added in the baneling portion because this is definitely unnecessarily now just getting an infestation pit at 18 minutes so he can start that hive upgrade. He is going up on 4 bases right now. And here we go. If at first you don't succeed, try, and try again. Banelings come rolling on in. And this time they're going to connect with some Marines. Are they going to get the tanks? No, they're not connecting the tanks this time. Killing a lot more Marines. And now going into that SCV line. There's not many Marines out by Taeja. 19 actually, so there are plenty out. I don't see a drop going on. I don't know where they all are. Taeja, okay, way back here. I don't know why they were so far back. Maybe because of those banelings. Going in that SCV count is still 42. Now 30. Oh, it's dropping down as the 3rd base has been found. Ling's going in, taking out a lot more workers. 67 workers killed at the 19-minute mark. Coca is just so insanely aggressive. I love it. This 1 Marine is going to see the Ling, stim and run away. He's like, oh no, let's get off the minimap as soon as possible. Coco has seen you. And that Marine is going to go down. He does get to scout the 4th base. Knows how much trouble he is in. 28 workers to 62 drones. However, that army supply of Taeja is still high. Coca has lost more than Taeja. So Taeja's army you can expect to be relatively strong. He is at 3-3 upgrades on those Marines. Lings are at 2-2 because the Hive is just now starting. He has been so aggressive, he hasn't been able to build this Hive. He is doing a good job though in keeping his money low as he does morph in countless numbers of Banelings. 14 more morphing in right now. And he is spreading the creep relatively well now. Not as good as he did on Ohana. Lings are going to be forced to pull back. Taeja now going in to do damage. He has to do this. Taeja, this is going to be the moment that he has a equal size army to his opponent because he is so far behind in the econ. Doing a drop right now. That Queen does get transfused once, and Phone Ghosts do go down, and that is a lot of Infestors by Coca. 9 Infestors to deal with these Marines. But here we go. Taeja going to be sieging up right here. This 5th base, or 4th base I should say, is in trouble. Beautiful fan by those Marines right now, but Coca gonna go for that counterattack. As I did say, he is insanely aggressive with even more aggression. Now those Lings can't decide what to do. They want to go to the middle line, get even more workers killed, then decide to run back. A little bit of an indecision by Coca right there. And that allows Taeja to kill this 4th base for free. And now moving in to this 3rd base. If Taeja keeps on moving, it will be really bad for Coca, and Taeja will be coming back from yet again an amazing comeback. Coca is a little bit on the ropes right now. 3 base to 3 base. Worker count is 36 to 61. Extractors are falling. These tanks are moving. Ultraless Cabin has started. But we do have the upgrades behind the Marines, so I don't know how effective the Ultras are going to be right now. Could use more Infestors. He is building 2 more. Lots of Infested Towns do go off. And he's still got plenty more energy on those Infestors. Does clean up Taeja's army, but the supply is relatively even at 94 versus the 111. Army supply for Taeja is still higher than Coca right now, and his Infestors are becoming weaker and weaker, but he still has a lot of energy. 1 Infestor bird moving in, and it's going to sneak underneath the army. It's going to go and kill off more workers. Again, 67 workers dead. And oh, that fungal on all those Marines before the tanks get sieged. And now we do have Coca now suddenly leading in the supply. This 1 Infestor, oh, this is going to be a money fungal right here. He's at 0 kills, so we'll keep an eye on him. Taeja has to reinforce that with more Marines. Coca doesn't really mass mutas. He just builds like 1 round of them, kind of like in ZVZ. And just use them for what he can use. If they're not successful, then he gives up on them. He doesn't really commit too long. And that was odd. I guess that was an infested, changeling in the middle line, I guess. Phone Growth not hitting that many units right there. Those infestors are pulling back. Ultras are now out. They don't have chitinous plating yet. That is not being researched. More and more Ultras are being built. And Ultras, as I did say, the other good game-throwing unit out there. A lot of Marines are going to be start taking out this 1 hash of the Queen. Will not go down. Some good micro by Coca right there. That 1 infestor still just lonely by that 3rd base, waiting for him to do something. But he just seems pretty darn lazy. This 1 hatch, if this goes down, this will be absolutely devastating. You see Taeja, though, being so careful with his units. And at least there is another base now just fishing for Coca. And those Ultras could be okay in this situation. There's not that many more Marines back here. That 1 drone does meet its maker. And Taeja moving out with a lot of units, and now even mixing in those Marauders. Keep in mind, Ultra's only at 2-2, and now this is a great moment for him to move. There is 1 Infested up here, give a vision of this high ground. That did show Infested on this 1 tank, and now this tank looks like it will be going down. Ultra's being taken out, and he has to keep his tanks alive. He can't really rebuild his tanks with his econ line at 30 workers. Taeja with a beautiful split, and now we have a good phone growth going off on some bio units. Not the best, but it is enough to slow Taeja down. That's all Coca has to do because he does have the macro advantage. And here we go, the Ultras moving back on in. A lot of Ultras are weak. I don't know if this was the correct call. Ultras are going down, but they are taking out those tanks, and now another phone growth goes down. Looks like Coca just has way too much, but those Marines doing a lot of DPS. All the Ultras do fall. There are only a few Marines left. They're going to be taking out these infested towns with the medevac's help, and all these overlords moving in. Taeja now reinforcing this with a lot of Marines. And that 1 infestor still here. Still just hanging out, so not doing anything with that. Overlord's going down. This one just looking at the reinforcements, I guess. I don't know exactly what he's doing with those hidden infestors. Taeja now going for this 1 base. Did he scan that? He found it somehow. Pick up, save it live as units, but those infestors are coming. They don't have energy to fungal growth because Taeja's constantly been all over Coca. He can't really let his infestors regain energy, and that's proven to be so good. Now dropping Marauders on those Banelings, picking back on up, and this 1 base will be falling. Taeja taking his 4th base. He is slowly crawling his way back in this game. 90 supply to 116 supply, and the Lover, I guess, going to be going down. Why not? Coca, though, going to be doing a little bit of a counterattack. Still has that Infestor. SCV's already pulled off. Going to start running towards the Army. Going to lift this command center up. This one, oh, holy moly mules. A lot of mules at that one base. But Lings and Infestors are going to come put an end to that. Lings taking out this one supply depot. Plenty of Marines on this one high ground. These handful of units do get taken out. We do have the 4th base for the 100th time going down for Coca, but Taeja not letting that happen at all. Those Infestors, that's like 9 fungal growths now. All those mules do go down, but they almost were dead anyways, so did get mining out of that. Just moves this base. It's like, okay, this base is not safe. There's Lings nearby. Let's just move on over here. Going into the army supply, it is equal army supply. The upgrades still 2-2 for those Lings, while Taeja is at 3-3. He's going to depend on some good fungal growths with the even-sized army, with Taeja ahead in the army supply. He can't really just engage this head-on. He's got to get a 4th base up and keep it up. It's not just getting it done. He's actually got to start mining from it. Now this one base that was at the 4th decides, yeah, let's go to the 3rd base. We're playing a game of musical bases or musical command centers right now. Command center is getting up to do a drop. Does the one with the most HP. These are very close to being dead. And now a few Lings going to unburrow. And SCV is running away. Marine's going to come take that out. But at the same time, we do have this opening up Coca for a big run by there are plenty of Marines here. Do get a stim off. There's no medevacs to keep them healed. But 3-3 Marines are pretty good. Fungal growth does go down though, and that will put an end to all those Marines' life. And Coca now coming into this base. This is a very successful counter-attack. There's not much Taeja can do about this. And Coca just going to be pulling back. Look at that Infestor energy now. So much energy on these Infestors. The army supply, it may be in Taeja's favor, but with these maxed out Infestors, this army supply is definitely indecisive, or I don't know what it is. It's the opposite of Roaches. He's really got a larger army just because Infestors are going to be so darn powerful. We have more Lings coming out to attack this one base while he goes again into the main base. Beautiful multi-pronged attacks by Coca. Horrible Infestor control, losing a lot right there. But does force Taeja back to deal with this, and Lings are going to come in, pick off SCVs yet again. He has killed 103 workers so far this game. Coca does not let up on this aggression. Even has that one bird Zergling saying, nope, can't land that command center, and takes out the mule and SCV right there. Has Infestors fungal growthing as he retreats. Beautiful kiting. Also has one bird, one underneath the tank. Those Infestors, though, really low on energy. Only has one with maxed out energy. These fungals almost killing a lot of units. But there are plenty of medevacs that are now depleted out of energy going into the army supply. Taeja can still take this. It could easily go either way. Taeja has the upgrade advantage. Those Infestors have quite a bit of energy. Here we go. A bunch of Infestors going to be popped right now. And now the Ling's going to come in, try to pick off everything. This is like the game-deciding battle. So many infested Terrans, so much going on around the map. It looks like Coca, maybe Taeja. Well, 44 supply to 112. Yeah, we do have 3 SCVs out on the map. So it's going to go in Coca's favor. That's all there is to say about that. Taeja literally has no mining bases. He has command centers floating everywhere. There we go, landing this one. But going into the workers kill, 107. Almost every worker that Taeja's built is dead. And Bezantan's going to try to scare away these medevacs. Taeja has 3 Mirage, 1 Marine to his name, and there goes the GG. And I have some bad news. I found out this is actually a BO5, not BO7. My bad, guys. And I'll show you why I thought it was a BO7. I'm not sure the reason. I'm sure ESV has a good reason. Props to them for getting out these replays. They don't have to do that. Awesome that they do, and that's why I subscribed for 20 bucks to get these replays so I could cast them for you guys. So, yep, even buying replays now to cast. What a day. And let's go, I guess, hold on one second. My web browser wasn't shown, and there we go. So, I do see finals will be best of 7, and in SC2 Gears, we do have 5 games. But this same map twice. And then, yeah, that just a little bit odd, but it is BO5. We do have Coca winning, and actually, let's go back into the thread and see the prize structure. We have 200 weekly. So Coca won. I don't know how that works. It didn't say like first place, second place, the Grand Prix. Oh man, that is a big prize pool. Maybe that's what they're fighting for. I think only the winner gets $200, and there's 8 of them. That makes sense because 1,600 overall. And then there's some rankings or seedings, and they enter for a Grand Prix for 3,500. Pretty cool tournament by ESV TV. Definitely check them out. Pretty good casting. They also have Orb, which is an analytical caster. So let's go back to these games. So this is game 4. This is the game. It was game. Yes, it is. So let's just go straight off to. Oh, this is the Coca I've been looking for. So throughout the series, he's been hovering around 8 and 10. This game, 5.2. Near perfect injects. And look at it all throughout this game. That was beautiful play by Coca. Let's go into his APM. I actually want to know what his APM is now. Seeing that inject, his macro APM 116, micro APM 149. Let's search that by queen. Select queen. Boom. You can see him selecting his queen 3 times every minute. So that is every 20 seconds, and inject is less than 20 seconds, so he does keep an eye on that. And going over to his injects, let's see his inject method. I think I did it in game 2, but I forgot. So 10 minutes. Boom. Inject method. Looks like he puts his hatches on individual hotkeys, so you can kind of see the tumor bow. The only bad thing is his main has both of them. And that means that he can't see an inject bow on this one, so that kind of takes away that advantage. But it's also interesting that as the bases go on, Coca doesn't really hotkey multiple hatches. I guess his macro hatch is hotkeyed wherever his main base is, or the adjacent hatch is, but doesn't have 3 hatches hotkeyed. He always goes between the hatches to build larva. And that's interesting. And also, I want to point out that this is like, I meant to do a blog on this, but I'm just going to do it now and start talking about it, and it will go into a blog. So, a lot of players early on, why I always hype up the injects, a lot of players think if my minerals are low, then my injects are fine. That's not really true in this early game, because you want to build drones as soon as possible, because if you wait till your inject pops, let's say you have 3 larvae, and then an inject pops, and then you build drones. Or you have any larva, and then your inject pops. That's larva that you should have already used. That actually makes a difference. Mining, like, overall, like, if you always just kind of go in the habit of when my inject pops, then I build units, then you're missing out on a lot of cycles of building drones. So that's how, like, players like Rhett or Stefano, they magically get up to 50 plus drones faster than anyone else because they never have idle larva and 50 minerals. They're always building drones as soon as possible because let's say you have 2 drones that you are 5 seconds late on each. That's 10 seconds of mining time that you just wasted. And that means that translates to like 7 minerals, which isn't much. But let's say 2 drones or 3 drones were 10 seconds late. That's not unreasonable. 3 drones, 10 seconds late, that means you had like 150 minerals. So that's going to translate to 30 seconds, which is missing 40 minerals, I believe. No, you're missing 20 minerals late. That's why I want to do a blog and do all the math. But the basic thing is, the earlier you have drones, the more money you'll be getting. The more money you're getting, the quicker you can build drones. It's kind of like compounding interest, if you think about it that way. Instead of time doing the compounds or whatever it is, drones do it. So getting the drone out 20 seconds earlier gives you a little bit more time to mine money so you can build the next drone. And that adds up. Eventually you save time, you get your hatch up a little bit earlier, and then suddenly your hatch now gets a little bit faster, and that kind of just snowballs. So makes a deal. I mean, generally pro players will have 4 to 5 more drones than those regular Master League Zerg players just because of that fact. And hopefully that wasn't too confusing Really should have saved that for a blog and thought about that more. Sorry, guys, but that is a rough draft of a future thing that I will be doing. And I will have math in an Excel spreadsheet and all that goodies. It's just going to take a lot of time to do that, so that's why I haven't done it yet. So, be excited, I guess I can say. Oh, unit tiers. Let's look back into... I guess Taeja Mako won't really be that good to look at that game. Let's look at Builds Tech. I don't have too much time left, so we're just going to look in the ability groups. 47 different fungals. No Baneling explosions this time, sadly, but 188 Banelings. Units built, 320 Marines. That's a lot, 345 Lings. And actually, I want to see some. Let's go to the APM tab. Select Barracks. And use. Oh yeah, I found this out last time. There's got to be something else for Barracks. There we go. Train Marine is a good one to see. You can see, constantly training Marines, I guess. I don't know. Take care, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the BO5. Sorry, wasn't a BO7. Out of my control. At least this shows I didn't know the results before I casted, because as I was opening up this game, I noticed the next map was the same map, and I was like, huh? That's odd. So that prompted me to open up the VOD for the ESV TV, and I saw they stopped on Korhal compound as well. So, yep, take care.